Institutions, it is Wednesday, March 19th, it's 4:15. We're coming back to tie up some loose ends. The first loose end we need to tie up is a recommendation that we need to give to Representative Trevor Squirrel in the Appropriations Committee about the DOC Wi-Fi, the 1 million. Brian and Kevin have been working on this, and Kevin sat in on the Energy and IT Committee yesterday. Just to clarify that we're all on the same page. I've had conversations with the chair of that committee. Brian and I worked with the chair a little bit while we were on the floor because she had some recommends that she really wants us to have in the letter to Representative Swirls. She wants to bring this up. She's planning on bringing this up tomorrow morning in her committee for a vote. So here's the language that Brian has been working on, and Kevin.
Or Kevin and Brian this time.
Kevin and Kevin, you did all the work. I just nodded. Good job, Kevin.
So I'm gonna have you, Brian,
You're gonna go for a paragraph.
walk us
And
through,
then got into it.
the language here.
Sure. This is to show our committee's support for the proposal to put Wi-Fi in all of our correctional facilities. We've been taking a run at this for a few years now, but it seems like it actually has improved somewhat in the duration. So we start off with why it's going to be good for the folks who work there in the first paragraph. Oh,
It's Mary. It's gonna be Mary. No?
That's James.
Yeah. To Patty.
All right.
Joe's on his own. We continue through why it's going to be good for the incarcerated individuals after we do the folks who work there. And then the second paragraph is the one that we got from the chair of the committee next door. We're talking about who supports this project and basically their support all around. It's the governor, it's the DOC, it's the Agency of Digital Service, and I believe it's both of our committees. I guess the only real substantive difference to maybe from what you've seen before is that the startup funding has been reduced from 3 million to 1, but that is a lease as opposed to a purchase. So it will be an ongoing expense, but it also means that the equipment won't become obsolete. And the highlighted portion there is because they're going to take their vote tomorrow morning. So that'll be filled in once House Energy and Digital Infrastructure take their vote.
So folks need to read this, but I really want to highlight that second paragraph when folks get to it.
It's just the one page, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And I had quite a bit of conversations around.
Yeah, there's a lot of info crammed in there, and the way that it's funded is interesting.
So once you folks read it, see what you think. Put your cell phones down and read the language, please. We can get out of here. We got a lot of work to do.
I guess if it's all right, Alice, I'll start with the question. It seems important to that committee to have their vote enumerated. We're not worried about that.
We're not worried about that. Well, you had a question?
Yeah, my question was, just to make sure, we are going from purchase to lease equipment, and that's reducing the 3 million ask, or actually, I thought it was almost $4 million originally.
You're correct, it had increased from the first.
It's like
statement of reasons.
8,300.
So, but it's now gonna be exactly 1 million, is it more than a million, like what
Approximate.
approximately?
That was an ish.
And then just checking about that yellow highlight, what's gonna go there? It's,
Their vote.
that's gonna be their vote.
committee vote. So I had the concern on the last sentence, or next to last sentence on the second paragraph.
Yeah.
This is what Energy Committee wanted, that was in a memo that came from the Secretary of the Agency of Digital Service. ADS supports this IT expansion for improvement project and requests that any funds be appropriated to the ADS IT modernization funds. And my question was, where does the money come from? And I was trying to track this down while we were on the floor. They're not sure. When I spoke to the chair, she wasn't sure where the money was from. I wanted to see if it comes from DOC and if they're aware of, if DOC was aware of this language. So I've been following up on that. And speaking with the commissioner of DOC on the phone, he's not sure either. He thinks it probably comes out of his budget. It would be part of his budget, that $1 million will be transferred to the ADS IT modernization fund.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thinking, and he was fine with that. So I just wanted to make sure. When I read that, I said, whoa, wait a minute, we hadn't heard that. And where's DOC on this? So I did some tracking down.
What's
He
the,
he being Commissioner Governor.
Demo.
Oh, yeah.
what's the rationale there for having it go through DOC to ADS?
Well, my understanding is that's where a lot of the projects the money does come for a lot of the projects through that. It's where ADS has control of the projects. That's my understanding of it.
And it's they who will be overseeing and reporting out to us and the other committee,
ADS.
ADS.
So I really wanted to be clear, because giving this to Representative Squirrel, he may ask, well, where's the money coming from? Because he's looking at the DOC budget for approps. And there's another member of approps that works with ADS. So that's why I just wanted some clarity on that. So that's why I connected with DOC. Be very clear that they're aware this is what ADS has asked for. And they were okay. Okay, Connor?
I guess I didn't know this, so the staff is taking classes through CCB?
Yes.
They'll need?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I just didn't know that.
They can do that. I don't know if they're gonna do that while they're working.
I assume not.
I assume not. But the interest from the other committee, Kevin, you sat in yesterday, is more on the staff than the folks who are incarcerated. Correct?
They were more interested in seeing that the staff was helped than the incarcerated. Yes.
Well, Connor, I think that's part of the answer to your question. You know, I'm not sure when they would take advantage of it, but this is to ensure that the folks working there get.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm good with it. I just didn't know about it.
Yeah.
I don't know when they're gonna find the time, but yeah.
You have something?
Well, as this name says in departmental training, so maybe they are blocking out time that while they're there. be able to
Well,
do
there's,
For the training, I assume, yeah.
they're supposed to do it. It used to be called roll call, 15-minute roll call before their shift started. I don't know if they still do that, but they used to do that. And that's what we're trying. These snippets a little training. But I don't know if they still do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
Are we going to be reporting this, or?
no, this is not a report. This is a letter to Representative Squirrel. Because they're putting together the budget, and he works on DOC's budget, so he asked for a letter to be sent because our initial letter that we sent, if you remember a few weeks ago, we requested 3 million. And then ADS said, wait a minute, the project hasn't been approved, and DOC said, yeah, the project had been approved. So I said to the commissioner of DOC, because he was pretty upset, I said, you and the secretary of ADS need to sit down and figure this out. And this was before our town meeting break. So they did sit down and figure it out. This is a result of that. So Representative Squirrel on Appropriations Committee needs to get back to the whole committee and say it's 3-1, it's 1 million instead of 3 million. This is where it's gonna come to this from, and this is where it's gonna be deposited. But he needs that to come, that recommendation to come from our two committees. So that's what this letter is. It's just to go to Representative Score.
Okay.
Back to staff education, specifically, they stated that there's 5 million federal earmark money available the last couple of years that they couldn't take advantage of.
That's
So
from.
Wi-Fi, and that virtual training academy would be available, so an individual at one place could be doing it online. So they may be doing it,
Well, that's what I'm
While they're
saying.
working.
They gotta be
If they
blocking
have
out time.
time.
right?
They can do. So are we, I want to take just a show of hands on this. Are we okay with this letter?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes.
Are you looking for any grammatical things here?
Sure.
Yeah.
It just,
You and not Troy?
Thomas.
Let's get John Gray up here.
Let's go.
well, the dashes. I hate to use a dash when it could just be a comma. And
See, I
then-
personally love a good dash over a
And
comma.
dash.
Let's keep it straight.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, it's.
I actually feel you, Gina. This is a request from next door.
This is the request from next door. And then like where it's affordable, it should be period and then capital T. And I think they've got an extra and in the first paragraph as well. After footage should just be comma.
Let me find it. Yeah.
I don't think we need dashes or commas in that sentence. I mean, accurate.
It's anarchy.
Whoever wants to
You're
do
your
this, go
preferential.
ahead. We've
Yeah, it's
agreed
enough.
to the concept.
Just a-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think we got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, I don't think we need
Finishing with
commas at all. You're right, Troy.
Yeah.
At all.
So work with Brian.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's just a full sentence.
Yeah.
This is the second paragraph in the middle as the HEDI.
Yeah, it doesn't need, it just needs to get rid of the dashes.
Had requested.
No.
No.
ADS supports this IT expansion as a workforce improvement project and requests that any funds.
Be appropriated for the ADS IT modernization fund. Yeah, Troy.
Okay, I was on the one previous to that, so after requested, comma, DOC and ADS, you're fine with that.
Yeah.
One line above.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is in there.
And then
So they
you
must.
said, Gina, footage in the first paragraph
Yeah,
halfway through.
footage, I think, just needs the comma and not the and yet.
Were they still meeting with
It's
us?
a listing.
No, we left it the same.
And then comma,
Oh, I dig it.
right after CCV in brackets there. If you're gonna.
Oh, I see how you're
Oxford
thinking of it. I
comma,
see how you're thinking of it. Yep.
I hate the Oxford comma myself. but-
Isn't it like-
Oh, I always use it. All right, now we'll take it out.
No, leave it in because the rest of it's got Oxford comma.
That's true.
It's deleted section.
My old boss hated it. So,
373.
So Brian, when you get a
No,
clean
that's
copy of
what-
that,
I don't know if I remember what.
email it to
Explain
Jeff.
for us when we
yeah,
get
and then I'm gonna leave off, but include you or no?
that. Already exists.
No.
Okay.
No, just email it to Kath and just say we are.
So we're not-
unanimous.
Finding-
So we're unanimous on commas now too, so I think we're out.
And the committee's unanimous on that, well, there's 9 people, but.
Yeah.
2 people. were
902.
missing.
And one to need a post. You post that letter?
Yes,
Yeah, I'll copy you, Phil, and then letter to Kara.
thank you, Phil.
Okay.
Okay, so when that gets done, Scott, why don't you come on up? We're gonna do it, the new spreadsheet. We're gonna go from there. Then I don't know where I'm gonna put this, but I'm gonna put it somewhere.
Oh.
Wow.
About the rock brackets. Do they use
3.
anything?
No, it's just Phil filled one out and then we both had to fill one out. You need 3 sets of brackets for each.
What do we need?
Under control.
We got 3,
Yeah, Phil, myself and Connor.
We've got it sorted.
One bracket.
and then when do we have to do that again?
Oh, my God.
Don't.
You still want.
That's it?
Really?
Yeah.
One
So
and
the
done.
rest of us didn't get to weigh in?
You
No.
can weigh in if you want. If you want to use the electronic link that's in there,
Yeah,
just follow through. It's really easy. I mean, you just
I
pick,
thought we could just kind of pick
you
the,
can pick on logo.
no, I leave it to you guys. If we win, you guys are the hero.
We pick CCV to go all the way.
You be in football?
I want TCU for the winner. You better
Well.
show up,
The
or
Horn
else
Frogs?
John will have my head.
The Horn Frogs?
One for us.
Put that 2 minutes.
Wait, 25.
Well, it's an interesting mathematical concept.
If I live with her at home, so
Or not. You got me excited.
no choice. Everything, I have to shut up so he can hear
I
it.
can't believe that.
He has the mute button. He asked where the mute button is.
I got the bad news.
Yeah.
Okay, Scott, give us a quick walk through here.
For the record, Scott Moore, Joint Fiscal Office.
That's how you did it. Oh, jeez.
And if you bear with me, I have a magical four-step process to get to where we are. And I wrote them all down, so we're all in agreement.
Oh, but we split up major maintenance between cash and bond.
So what? Let's start at the beginning in version 2 at the bottom. I think we can all agree. We had 4.5 million in excess money that we could do things with. Part of that was 7.3 million in bonded, and part of that was negative 2.8 million in cash. Starting there, we increased the bonding by 190,000 for the Memorial Courthouse.
Right?
Now, instead of having 7.3 million in quote unquote extra, we only have 7.1 million basically. So that's step one. We're down 190,000 because we added more bonding capacity. We're still up overall, but we're down a little bit. Next step, we talked about in order to free up money to give to appropriations, it can't be bonded dollars, it has to be cash. We went back and forth here a little bit about moving all of the 8 million from major maintenance and then some of the other elements back and forth, back and forth. In conversations with people at Joint Fiscal, they said, just move what you need from cash for major maintenance. It's going to be easier. It's going to be cleaner. It's going to be less confusion in language. And quite frankly, BGS is good about understanding how to use multiple accounts. So to make it life easier, just move money on that one line. So that's why you'll see on line 1, I split the cash to be some bonded and some cash. So in statewide major maintenance, line 1 of BGS, you'll see 7138401 in bonded and 861599 in cash instead of 8 million in cash.
So whoever reports this section is gonna have to explain that,
Mhm.
giving folks a heads up.
Mhm.
It ain't me reporting this.
We can still go back through and do the other individual changes back and forth, back and forth. This felt to be an easier solution for the question. That was step 3. Step 4. Now, when we do that, at the very bottom, we can see our total bonded projects funded by bonded dollars. And I increased the font size and the line numbering so I can see them. On line 174, the total projects will be 111,965,288. And then the total funding for those matches. So right now we're at 0 for any difference in bonded. We've used all of our bonded dollars. Hooray. Right. So in theory, we would have that $4 million left over that we had transferred from bonded to cash. But looking at this, you see 6 million. Well, how come it's 6 million? Earlier, we were having a discussion about 4.5 million. Then we had the 2 million in the housing grant project.
The 3
HCCP. What we had done was we had taken 4.5 million and subtracted 2, but it's an expense. So when you subtract a negative, it actually adds. So we actually taken that expense away. Come to find out, it looks like we have 6.3 million extra, if you will, in our cash availability.
Folks we're talking about.
There were people talking about that.
Yeah, so when we were doing back of the math, that's why I did this in my spreadsheet, not in public. Back of the math here, back of the envelope, we went the wrong direction. So this shows we have 6 million. So
2 million of that is the 3
Earmarked.
Bs.
correct,
Correct.
3 Bs.
Which leaves it 4.3, right? For
Yep, exactly.
unencumbered for approach, not
Unencumbered for approach. Jesus, they did pretty well.
So then what Emily Byrne in my office, the deputy fiscal officer, suggested is on line 167, the annual general fund transfer, that's at 4%. It's a suggestion from her. Right now it's at $14.8 million. If we reduce it down to 8, make our cash be 0,
our bonded zero, we all balance, we're all good to go.
Do I say that again? The
Yeah.
cash, that's the 4% transfer.
Yep.
So if we do what with it?
So instead of transferring 14 million, if we only transferred 8.5 million,
So basically,
Into-
That's
you're taking the cash
6.3.
difference and reducing
I
the,
don't want a lot of conversations.
Yeah.
I want to understand this.
and this is just a suggestion she had,
So why decrease it by how much?
you would decrease it by the 6.3 million,
Yeah,
and that would decrease it down to 8.5 million. So effectively, what you're doing is your sources of cash, your sources of funding is lower,
right.
and that frees up that 6 million automatically, and appropriations can have it. Ta-da, they can do what they want with it.
Got it.
Right now, I haven't done that. I did earmark that 14 million in red, just so you kind of like see the idea.
So Joe, and then,
also, if that's our intent, it would be good to do it as soon as possible. That way, nobody thinks we have $6.3 million sticking around for other projects.
absolutely true. Now you're getting the gist of when people know there's a pot of money, they're coming after it. Troy,
How do you, if you're gonna decrease the amount that comes over initially, how do you clarify for them that 2 million of that is spoken for with the 3Ds?
I already told Robin about it.
Okay.
And
So
That would be something.
there's gotta be like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, it's really
Give
four
us eight,
point,
let's spend 2 of it here.
yeah, you're only really having 4.3 that you can play with.
It's a for these.
Million of that is already committed. We're making you whole because we made a decision not to do it in the capital bill, not to do it with bonded dollars, but we're moving 2 million cash. It was really in our bill.
Right.
2 million cash over to you folks to put in sub-account B. So you don't have to worry about it. We took care of it. So what you have left is a 4.3 million something.
your idea was great, Scott.
So Joe, did you have something?
No,
Okay.
no, I think we're good.
Do people have concerns with this, that they intend not to vote for the bill? Or is there things in the bill that people don't want to vote for?
Oh, God, no. I think it's all good.
Did Troy have something?
Gravy.
I mean, I think we could go back and trim some more stuff, honestly.
The only thing I have to say is somebody made the $6.5 million comment before the 190 was put in for the Memorial Courthouse, so.
Who was that?
Probably you.
And I get the point, and I want to be clear. I think that this really probably has to be said, and that is that there's a lot of people in here that know a lot more than credit's being given. And I think we should work together and really just be able to listen to each other. So,
Yeah, James.
listen, I get yelled at last night. I don't need to be yelled
Who yelled at you? Or somebody?
at. Yeah.
Oh, you guys had a run.
So the one thing I did, I added to the top of every page, version 3, just so that's our nomenclature, just so you can differentiate between the pages. And then if you'd like, I'm happy to do a version 4 that changed that 14 million to 8.5.
Fine. I'm satisfied.
Yeah, I mean,
And I'm fine with that. That washout on the excess cash. To the, cash appropriation.
Approached it, did pretty well here.
I said, did pretty well. I never-
We should have a pizza party before we shut this down.
They voted that the T-bill was introduced today, so
Oh, all right.
They voted it out yesterday.
let them find the money. They got a lot of projects they can pull from.
Yeah, there's money that just went to approach, so you go,
Yeah, I mean, there's money.
it is.
So I will share with the chair of appropriations, because they're in markup just like we are, and they're supposed to get their bill out on Friday. So they need to know from us what it might be. So I can say to them, correct?
Yep.
You've got 4.3 million that you can work with. There's an additional 2 million we're giving you that will go to the 3Bs.
yeah,
Gonna shop forward.
Hmm?
Gonna shop forward.
Sure, that might be good. So we can do a straw. Hands up, hands on that. Are people supportive of that? I'd like to see the hands. Those in support?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
So that's what.
No, I'm not.
902.
Yeah.
902. Yeah.
This isn't concurring.
So,
Let's feel
so
that.
far, we're good.
We still have a couple language things to hash out, right?
Right, and we gotta
Comments.
wait, yeah, we still have to wait for this municipal pollution grants in the drinking water.
We'll have the, what, 11:30 or 11:45, 11:30, right? Yeah.
But we gotta talk about that.
We gotta talk about it.
Will's gone.
And Will's,
So you and me and Gina can talk.
can we do that tomorrow morning?
That's fine, with me.
Can make-
8:30 or 8:15?
Well,
Well,
we're
not
meeting at
8:15,
8:30, what if?
Oh, you guys can't get here that early.
What have you got at 8:30, what have we got at 8:30?
8:30 is the three Bs.
And that will go to probably about 9, there's nothing after that, or is there?
9:30 is BGS and the Waterbury transfer.
And you said that that's pretty, John should be given a calendar invite. John Gray.
It's that word. I mean, it's like-
He should
What's the
be given
context of the
a
three
calendar
Bs tomorrow?
invite for both of those.
Saw that language.
That's all. It's not like the administration coming in.
So it should be, says it would be good for them to be here.
I saw both Tom and Wanda separately and they both said they're singing Kumbaya tomorrow, so.
So maybe it's more in a calendar.
Being in the same.
Taking these two items.
So one is
You
coming.
really need to be in the room or, you know, it's gonna be language showing up for that. So we will find a time, we got it, you're meeting at 11:30.
11:30.
Maybe after we vote on the judges, it's gonna take a while to count the ballots.
Right.
And how many judges are there?
We have
That's
eight.
after. Oh, no,
We
it's
have
more,
three.
that's right.
Yeah,
Right, I just saw that.
but it shouldn't be too controversial, I don't think.
And do we even need to be out there to vote? No.
Yeah, we should vote. Yeah, you gotta be.
Yeah,
able
but
to
it's not
see.
a named.
They hand out the ballots. I want to vote on judges.
Well, if it's not controversial, I mean, you have to put your name on the ballot.
Did all the judges sign a consent form 2 Fridays ago?
I'll be a pain.
Otherwise, it's just gonna count as.
Saying it,
Judge.
and then leave the,
Okay.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
might have to hang out just in case.
But you're not on this.
Yeah, you're not on the
And it's
subject.
not the committee. It's not the committee. It is the folks, it is James, Gina, and Will. So after, because it's gonna take a while to count the ballots.
Mhm, mhm.
And you're meeting at 11:30.
11:30.
So if we could get out of there by 10 after 11, quarter after 11.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, what time does, I just want to be clear, what time does this committee meet to meet?
8:30.
8:30.
Tomorrow. So Mary, we are to the good.
2 million to the good.
No,
4.4.
4.3.
We're 4.3 free, and then an additional 2 million. The bottom line is 6, the way they did the math and everything is 6.3 million to the good. And 2 million of that is for the 3 Bs. So our probes is getting 4.3 million.
I think we're giving them too much.
We have a lot of
What do you
needs.
think?
No, I always think of our projects, but I understand joking.
So taking it from, yeah, you still need to do, yeah, okay, you still need to do the major maintenance split.
There's other ways to do it, but that's the easiest and cleanest, and BGS understands how to, I mean, quite frankly, they had 8 million in cash and 8 million in bonded the next year, so they're used to cash and bonding.
So Mary, we took a straw poll in terms of me saying to the chair of the probes, there's 6.3 million total. 2 million of that is for the 3 Bs, so you don't have access to it. Then there's 4.3 million in change. So it was,
So add me on
I'll put 1001.
01.
It's a straw poll.
I'll
So,
work with John to make sure the language and the numbers all match.
yeah, because it's gonna be important. We also have to look at those numbers on the bill, make sure it tracks. Well, maybe we're in better shape than I thought. So let's call it a day. I think we're okay to call it a day.
I don't think anyone's gonna argue with you.
Before everyone leaves,
Uh-oh.
Boy.
I have a little, it'll be in your mailbox if you haven't already gotten it. We have on April Fool's Day, which happens to be someone's birthday. But we didn't do it according to that. We've been planning this. we have a little event that's going to happen in the cafeteria. It's kind of like art from the heart. We're doing a picture of, I've been working with Agatha and David Sheets because you don't do anything in this building unless you get permission. And then you do it kind of by the line. But this is kind of an idea to get folks together. You know, we're locked in committee all the time and we really don't always get out to meet a lot of the other members. So what we're hoping is it is going to be kind of a state house size picture, but then there's going to be, and we're asking for folks to bring, and you don't have to be an artist, but come to do something either in texture or draw or paint, whatever, your tree that will go on. So it'll be like our State House family tree picture.
Oh,
Everyone will be kind of on it, but with their own unique tree.
right,
And
great.
so it'll probably then be hung like in one of the rooms that folks can meet or whatever in. So there'll be light refreshments and all of that, but I'm hoping you can come. It'll be from 4:30 to 6, but this is in your mailbox. I
Great.
do hope you'll come and be a part of it.
That's great.
Thank you, Mary.
You'll make
Thanks,
sure-
Mary, yeah.
you'll make sure we're out of committee, right?
Yeah.
Very nice. Seems like it's ice cream time.
Yeah, that's great. We done good. This came together pretty quicker than it has in the past. Go home, rest up. Tomorrow we got a full day.
8:30 will be here.
30 tomorrow morning, and then we're gonna buckle down and look at the language. That will be fun.
I missed the beginning, but council is cognizant of the changes, so we can get that language tweaked.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a great form.
By the way, if you're an artist, you might be able to help other folks, but again, like this,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
no, I just wanted to go off the YouTube.
Oh, yes.
So